Well, if you were to bury a time capsule 30 years ago, would you remember what you put inside? That's the mystery for Mitch Brogan, who's searching for 2 time capsules in Laval near Montreal. It's a letter that he wrote with his grandfather that might have some clues to where it is. That remained sealed until yesterday, and now that it's been opened, it has some surprising insight into what Mitch was thinking when he wrote it as an 11-year-old. Okay, Mitch Brogan joining us now. You're now 39 years old, and you're joining us from London, Ontario, and I can see you're holding up that letter itself, and an 11-year-old's writing in there. Is that, walk us through how, let's break this down in 2 parts. How did you, what's the story of this letter first? Walk us through that.
Well, Happy New Year, John, everyone. The letter here, this was sealed back in 1991 on my birthday, and it contained a letter with answers to some questions my grandfather had written down about what we would be like and what the world might be like in the future.
So you have not opened it as per the instructions until now, right?
Until, in January 1st, 2020.
Okay.
So it's open now. I've got all the answers.
Okay. So walk us through what some of those questions that you and 11-year-old you and your grandfather put together and what the expected answers were.
Sure. So this was the list of questions here. That you can see, kind of written on old type pad from Alcan that my grandfather used to work at as a commercial diver. So the first one was, will I be married? And my answer on the sheet here, which I'll bring up here in 2 seconds. Oh, yeah, so, you have it, okay. So that's great. My answer was, I will be married. My second question was, how many children? I will have 2 children. Where will I be living? I will live in Toronto, Ontario, so not too bad because I've lived around the world, and so Toronto is pretty spot on, I guess. Number 4, what kind of a job will I have? I will be a writer and maybe a lawyer, which I spelled wrong. So I do like to write, but I'm not a lawyer. But I did create a pretty cool social app called User. So maybe not too far. 5, will I own a house? I will own a house. And I do own a house, so I was pretty right about that. How much will I be earning? I will probably be earning $450 a month.
Oh, that's a lot for an 11-year-old.
Yeah, and I've got 11 questions total and 11 answers, and then there's a little treasure map that kind of caught my eye in the corner of this.
Okay, so I'm going to quickly follow up the answers and how it turned out in reality. Overall, how did your 11-year-old predictions work out?
Okay, well, let's see. Things got a little dark closer to the end. Like, will the rivers and lakes be clean? No, I don't think any river, lake, etc. will be clean. I wasn't too far off from that. I don't believe. I think scientists will agree with me. Number 9, will there be a lot of diseases in people? This one's pretty dark. Yes, I think at least 3/4 of the population of people in this world will be infected with diseases. Number 10, this was, will there be a lot of animals and birds? Now, this one's kind of funny because I had a no, which I scratched out, and then I put a yes, which I scratched out, and then I went back to no, and I said, I think at least half the population of animals will be alive. So that's pretty much the most obscure answer you could ever receive, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah, so no, yes, no. I could have said maybe, I guess. And then the last one, which Elon Musk might like, will man be living on other planets? And I said, yes, I think man will infest other planets and trash them up like they did to Earth.
Okay.
So, yeah, there you go, Greta Thunberg and Elon Musk.
Okay, so your predictions as an 11-year-old and the reality about how they measure up. And you mentioned, though, a treasure map of some description. Now, walk us through what that's all about.
Yeah, right in the corner. I'm not going to, I'm not going to leave it too close to the screen, but there's a treasure map. And it caught my eye when I was opening the letter, and it says, we buried a time capsule today and last year at this address, and I see these little images in the corner, and nobody would really know what I'm looking at, but I know exactly what I did with these little tiny sketches, so it's really interesting. I met the owner when I went back and visited the house a few years back, so I'm pretty sure they would be amenable to me to maybe go in there and dig something up. Everybody's been asking about the time capsules everywhere.
For sure. Well, everyone loves a good treasure hunt. So what do you think is in those time capsules?
Okay, well, my cousin Nancy, who also received the second letter, so she has a letter that she opened up on January 1st as well. So she says she remembers some old comics that I drew. I used to like to draw old Calvin and Hobbes and Garfield comics. So she said that some of those are in there that she remembers. I didn't remember that. And I remember maybe some crisp $2 bills. I thought they might be in the envelope, but maybe they're actually in the time capsules.
Okay, so a treasure hunt underway. As you say, you hope to get access to this to see what may have survived in that. One thing, though, in terms of the way your life has turned out, I understand that something happened that there's no way you could have predicted as an 11-year-old. Can you tell us about that?
Oh, yeah. I may not have even been around to see this really momentous day, actually, because back in September 16th, 2006, I was hit by a drunk driver, which rendered me quadriplegic. It broke my neck very, very high up, so I'm in a wheelchair.
And I would imagine that that has altered your life in unforeseeable ways.
Unforeseeable ways, sir, yes.
So you still are going to go and try to dig up this time capsule that you have on that map that you can't show us because it's a secret?
I know exactly where they are, I think within a few feet anyway. So, you know, if there's any archaeology classes out there that, you know, want to give me a freebie maybe or something like that, I'd be more than happy. You know, and about the accident, you know, I've adapted really well since that time. And, you know, I've traveled all over the world and I scuba dive like my grandfather taught me back in the day. And I probably had a life that so far since that most people would be envious of. So
obviously no barrier to your treasure hunting either. Thanks for this, Mitch. All the best for the new year.
Thank you so much, John. Have a great day and Happy New Year, everyone.
Absolutely. Appreciate your time and thanks for your story. Mitch Brogan joining us from London, Ontario.